Welcome back to the channel. Okay, please like and subscribe to get this message flowing. Somebody can tag Miss Tisa. I would love it. Tisa, let's jump right in because everybody busy right now. Okay, aren't they busy? I have receipts. I have exclusive information I want to send straight to you first. Receipts. We're in a time of revelation, so we're seeing what's happening in the 3D courts. But spiritual court has already got begun. And this is where a lot of mediums, readers are covering Diddy's spiritual court. I know I'm not the only one tapped in and knowing that he's getting his ass handed to him spiritually as well. And the spiritual high court has doled out some data from the Hall of Records about who Diddy really is. Now, I usually do an oracle card that I place here, usually with my Revelations oracle, but my 357 Saratoga loaded with the Volga, I was guided to pull from that oracle, and here's the movie treatment card that comes out of this oracle. On the back it says reaping what they be sowing, and there's two columns, one with the B and one with the J. So now we're dealing with secret societies. So let's jump right into who Diddy really is. He's just the beta. I have previous recordings that really get into it some more, but there's even much more data and actual visuals that will blow your mind. I'm a decoder. As a medium, I am a decoder. I can look at ancient tablets and decode it. I can find out secrets. Okay? And when it comes to Diddy and wanting to keep secrets and hold it over people, there's a great payment for it on top of everything else that he's ever done. He is no longer human. He's not an animal. He is a monster, hybrid, a monster demon. His actual true name is Moloch. I will give receipts and proof on all of that. If I can break down ancient tablets and tell you what it means, if I can go into your DNA, like we're going to do right now, I just want to give you an intro. Okay, so when we're dealing with ancient Sumerian tablets, most of those tablets are pointing or indicating to now, today. This is from an actual tablet. If you go into the previous recordings that I have, uploads, or every symbol here is about the physical body or life on Earth, life in 3D. You have the medulla oblongata. This whole booklet breaks it all down, right? I'm trying to do bullet points right now because this is really just an intro. So this is the medulla oblongata in the brain. This tablet is very, very important. This is ground zero to the tablets that I have to also decode or have decoded already. This is T cells and stem cells, but really crucial where this will tie into why that movie treatment card is right there. So I know on the other side, my loved ones or the spirit team, they're like, oh my God, we done heard this story about 1 billion times, but we're going to tell it, and we're going to tell it quickly. 1994, I received a cassette tape from Diddy's hands. It was on 34th Street. It was during the New Music Seminar, September 1994. He had the street marketing team there. They got the picket sign saying Big Mac. He's out there skinny with the kufi on his head. That was his little style at the time. I'm rolling with a small entourage. ODB is part of it. This is crucial because of who ODB and everybody who's passed over, mysteriously and or not, they are not, they're not the same. They're very, very, very powerful, very supernatural. I'm talking about everyone. Heavy D, Kim Porter, everybody. We don't die. We live forever, one way or the other, or we exist one way or the other. But I'm not gonna go too far off on. Let's focus. Let's focus on why this card is here Why is Pele coming out of the forehead of 50 cents? For real, for real. Let's get into it. Even on the website, if people want a closer look at this image, it's there on my website, TanyaTheBrooklynMedium.com. But when I received the cassette tape from Sean Combs, this was crucial. This was on 34th Street off of 8th Avenue. It's very important because 34 plus the 8 and the 9, this will be the wormhole that I was thrusted in after I now have given or have left a package of my own. Here's an exchange. Diddy gave me the Big Mac container. 2 months later, it's gone nuclear. 2 months later, Scoob Lover, my brother, Big Daddy Kane's, dancer, he was just like, yo, let's go to this party. We Brooklyn cats. Brooklyn heads, whatever. It's like, true, okay. I didn't know it was going to be a gala event. I had a cute little outfit on, but I didn't really do it like I was supposed to. And I get to the front of the Roseland, and the red carpet is out, and Biggie is walking through with the top cats and top hats and pinstripe suits and gangsta, everybody walking. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So when I'm in and I'm peeping the whole scene, Latifah and Busta Rhymes is the first people or first idea, like this is really mega and massive. The way they were dressed, regalia. Like I was like, yo, I didn't really get the memo about how serious, how massive this is. Then I go into the main room and I see Big and Method with a huge entourage on the stage. Everybody who was there that day, that night, y'all know I'm telling it. It was a sight to see. The beginning of this particular golden age within hip hop. There's golden ages in hip hop. This one was particular because it carries with it everything for every single prophecy that is popping off in real time. And because of all the work, he put in that work, Daddy. All the work Sean Combs, aka Moloch, put in. Moloch is Diddy's forever name. That's the final name. Final motherfucking name. Excuse me. So Moloch, this was a major time. This was a time where he had to get into position to play himself for the next decades, 2-3 decades, right? Play himself, put in enough work to set up the book of Revelations. I promise you, I got the receipts. Pop off the book of Revelations and every prophecy, the blood moon prophecy, the 3 secrets of Fatima, the Vaticans was sitting on. I hear Tupac coming through. He said, don't forget to tell everybody, stop being papacy whip. You got to whip that papacy. All right, Tupac, I got you. So I met Tupac that day at the Roseland. This is before everything set off. I've already began my premonitions. I have now a map of premonitions that interlock like a mosaic to explain to me what the hell is happening right now. And you gotta admit, it feels really strange in the air right now. It feels real strange, real different in the air. It's a different physics for sure. And I'm cracking all the ancient tablets to explain. This tablet here explains exactly what the hell is going on in the air with the new age and new physics. This is Notorious B.I.G.'s book. I'll publish these eventually, but we're seeing him, come through storms and things like that. But in his book, it's covering Sean Combs. This is an image of Sean in the sky above where I live. Now, I'm going to go more into the SWAT. This is my actual skin. Things show up on my actual skin to give me a heads up and a warning. This is Diddy showing up as Moloch. Even in this screenshot of his son during the raid, it turns into Moloch. Moloch is a massive demon that people worship. Probably as much as the satanic worship, but they go in tandem. I won't go off on a tangent on that, but this channel is going to go off on a tangent on both Moloch and Satan, these two assholes, okay? And the paradox that's being created. So let's fast forward. Okay. So, boom. I give him the cassette tape. 2 months later, I'm peeping like this is the golden age. And I have been spiritually guided to so many key milestone moments within this golden age that technically spiritual warfare has always been going on. I should have been long gone in the grave. But I was always protected and always privy to these moments during this time. From even when Pac got jumped at Quad Studios. Like all these things that will be covered on this channel, all of that. But that day he gave me the cassette tape was very important. Then I see him again, Sean Combs, Moloch. 34th and 8th, there's a bank at the corner. I think this is in a previous recording, but you know, I'm fast forwarding through and putting it in this recording to let you know what's going on. At this bank, crossing paths, it was a total video. There was a moment there that let me know how depraved he was. He didn't attack or anything like that. It's just that when there was a stain by his fucking foot, he needed somebody in the art department. I was working in production to come and wipe it up. And I go and I wiped it up. I don't have no problem. I'm in the art department. I'm tweaking everything, making sure that there's no glare, there's no mess, there's no, you know, it's already designed. All the props are where they need to be. But for some reason, there's a fucking stain by Sean Combs' foot. So I'm wiping it up. And when I look up, first of all, everything got quiet. All the extras, everybody. Some of the crew members. But Diddy sitting in a chair, leaned back, looking at me. And my face turned red. I was just like, I've never felt, I'm on a humble. I do my job. I work hard at what I do. I don't care about wiping up a spill that could show up on the film and mess things up, show up in the video, and this is like, what's that stain right there? I don't mind wiping that up. I'm OCD and I got dyslexia. I'm weird like that. Let me go wipe it up, right? So, and heads up everybody, dyslexia I do speak dyslexia, so you will have moments in here, but fellow people with dyslexia, they'll understand me the first time. I don't even have to correct myself. They're like, I already know what you were trying to say. I speak dyslexia as well. So I'm wiping this stain up by this fool's foot, and he is looking at me like, yeah, bitch. He got off on that. And everybody stood by and watched it. And then they stood to see how my expression, my face was red. I'm light-skinned, but I ain't that light-skinned. But every now and then, if you're embarrassed hard enough, you will blush hard and look like a lobster. And that's what I look like. I was just like, this was the strangest, nastiest. I'm not nobody's servant. I'm not no bum, no peasant. And to be treated like that, to have that moment go down in history, him, of all people, wiping at his feet. Oh, no, we got paid for that, Diddy. You paying for that moment. So, boom. Fast forward, right? Fast forward. I've crossed paths with Diddy left and right at the Q Club. You know, this is the beginning. So he's, you know, we're all young and fresh and we're at the clubs and he's promoting. So he's promoting at the Q Club. Anybody who remembers the Q Club had one of the best, if not the best, sound system. It was incredible. So when it was time to promote Chris and Craig, okay, the whole Big Mac, they were hitting up every borough, the main clubs, the key clubs in every borough, and the Q Club was one of them. So I had, you know, crossed paths with him there at the tunnel. You know, it was a regular occurrence because everybody was just getting started out and it was all in the same circles. But the 34th and the 89th, or the 34th between 8 and 9, wouldn't become clear to me until now. Because, like I said, fast forward 2008, I brought a treatment to Sean John. And I pitched what it is I'm about to tell you now on this recording, and what I'm already beginning to break down is I'm a decoder. I am a medium. I'm a decoder. And I found out about our points of origin, where we are from. You can see it on my website. This is my book of tech packs. Hey, I got some raccoon eyes Ain't nobody sleeping right now. And this weather in New York is crap. But here, as you can see how thick this book is, we have all these different DNA. Every acetate or tech pack has different images, traits of every point of origin, from the Big Bang till now. Where you're originally from. Are you indigenous of Earth? There's people that are indigenous of Earth. Then you have the people who are indigenous to different star systems. And the bottom line is, what do you do with this? And why would I pitch this? Why would I take this in? On the treatment, I made it clear that I'm a medium. I made it clear that Christopher Wallace was right there with me, making sure everything was on point. This was 2008. I've been completely in full medium, full on since then. And they were like, Big was like, yo, take this, let him rock that, because when he starts to see this new discovery, how better to take this discovery and bring it to the world but through entertainment. So when I show the people of, I call it Thundera or Thunder, but people from the Orion's Belt, where you're from, ALNITAK, and very important, that Orion's Belt is massive to this channel. Massive to this channel. It's the 3 pyramids of Giza and the Orion's Belt I really focus hard on. But in New York City, there's 3 obelisks that I will also focus on. Okay? But always the Orion's Belt. Very important. As you can see, when you look at the people of ALNITAK, they'll be different, completely different from the people of Vega, completely different from the people that are from either Venus 1 or Venus 2. In Lyra, you have 2 different DNA groups. In Aldebaran, you have one, I think possibly another. In Cassiopeia, you have all these people here that are in star races, but because we're in the human race and within the white race, the black race, the Lemurian descendant race, you know, either side of the Pacific. You know what I'm saying? But let me get it together right here. In those races, in those earthly races, like you could take a whole bunch of Thunderians, Thundercats, because you're the totem of the cat, the panther, the tigress energy, like that kind of energy. Sekhmet from Egypt is part of this grouping, this point of origin. Yay. Let me see this. Okay, let me get another. So when you're here, you'll only see this shape of ears, the contours, the nose. The nose is subject to change whether you're in an African American race, if your spirit chose to come through whatever earthly race here or ethnic group here at such a key time, a shifting of the physics, something major. And we can thank Diddy, Moloch, and if anybody knows at least a little tinge of Moloch history, this is a volatile. Some demons are calm and cool. I should know because I'm very much a demon slayer. Call me Constantine on a certain type of day. Okay? This, like Satan is different than Moloch. Satan is calm, quiet, calculating motherfucker. But Moloch is a wild one, will devour children like is, like like a hors d'oeuvre. And Moloch is a demon that has been worshipped for tachyons. It's heavily worshipped in our government. Okay? It's a prerequisite in secret societies. Okay? But the paradox is, how the hell is Sean Combs Moloch? Well, he had to start somewhere. We don't limit time and space and the Most High God. That fall from the heavens for all of these fallen, it wouldn't stop until now. It stops now because Moloch is the new hell. Did he? He did all this work, busting open all these prophecies just to become the new hell. He won't be alone. There's always an Adam and Eve when you open up new frequencies of reality. Okay? He's got, I already covered this in previous. Let me just say that 34th Street, the 3-4, the 34, the star tetrahedron, the Star of David is the 34. 8. I've covered this already. But the moment I pitched the idea of showcasing this new discovery in a very entertaining way, like have Lyrans battle Martians, in music and dance. You know what I'm saying? It's entertainment, but it's a way to showcase and to recognize who has Mars DNA and what they can do with it. And what's the whole point of their what's their purpose? If they have that Martian DNA, if they have Neptune DNA, if they are indigenous to Earth, Middle Earth, if they are indigenous to Antares, Ursa Major, Canis Minor, and or Canis Major. You from the Pleiades? Oh, word! I need you to meet my cousin. She's from Aldebaran, and I noticed that Aldebaranians and Pleiadians, they get along real good. I think y'all would make a good match. It's even way deeper than that, but you're starting to understand how this information goes and why I have been punished. And the spiritual warfare is like, do not bring this information out. It gives people purpose and clarity. Oh, hell to the no. And when Big, being a medium, Big was just like, you'll take this to Diddy. And I took it. I took a binder like this. I took a treatment. It had my address on it. 34. Shit has been crazy ever since. It's been crazy ever since. I was thrown into quite a wormhole. A violent, horrible whirlwind, but one I don't take for granted. I wouldn't change shit for the world. Not saying Diddy had anything to do with it directly per se, but I know my address and my contact information was on that fucking treatment. Okay? Things went left. Homelessness. Madness. Not me going crazy, but just in a whirlwind. In a wormhole. And the wormhole stopped at the last address, 89. So I had 34 and 89. And when my family, who I retrieved out of the wormhole, I became a mom. That's amazing. I grew up. I have a family of my own to protect. And who protects me, right? And we had to flee 89 because something was going crazy, something was going. Which brings me to the tattoo on the back of Diddy's back. And then we're gonna get into the traits of your people, them from the Orion's belt, right? We're gonna do that. But I just wanted to tell you this, an intro, because I will send exclusive to you about Diddy. Oh, well, go on. But for right now, that tattoo on the back of his back is the voodoo Urzuli, the Loa, named Urzuli Dantor. In the previous recording, I talk about her fate, which now she is no longer in the voodoo pantheon. She's no longer Loa. Papa Legba took her ass to the crossroads, and from there she was transported to hell. So without Dantor, it's very hard for Diddy. If you Google Diddy's back, that tattoo, you see a random picture of him sitting down by some waterfront, right? But then they show it in his Facebook page. Oh, spiritual burps. In his Facebook page, you see him and he's like, she got my back. No, she don't. Dantor in hell, yo. And then Dantor is not only in hell, but she's in hell, the new hell. There's already plenty of people down there in the new hell. And Moloch's new body is waiting for him. So his time is limited here. His time is very limited. What we're seeing is a prime example of people like him. And he's just the beta. Trust me on this one. He's just the beta. But people like him, above and below him, his pay grade, that is into this foolishness, that's into putting the whole of existence in harm's way. They're being ushered out. They're being disintegrated out. It's a new physics. So the new physics won't even tolerate this shit. So we're watching not just Diddy, but people close around us or people we've cut off and that's been in this kind of energy, either worse or a little bit lighter. You know, like Diddy is whole milk, but there's people that has been bad like him, but it's only like 2% or skim milk or something like that. Some are worse than him. They're heavy cream in it. You know what I'm saying? But they're all leaving. Through illness, through getting in trouble with the law, cold cases are warming up and thawing out and coming back up to the surface. And anybody who is in law enforcement that is not on point, one way or the other, it doesn't have to be about just corruption, but just turning a blind eye. That ain't cool. Some had to turn a blind eye because it was safer to do so. That I understand. So now here comes the cavalry. The new Ark of the Covenant, the new Jews who rule Shalom, the new Jerusalem, but the new Jews who rule Shalom. Shalom is peace. We're going to have peace. Before we had something else, now we have to balance it out. So whatever it takes. If it takes Pele burning through 50 Cent's head, then that's fine. 50 Cent is protected. Now, she shows up on 50 Cent's head, but a picture of Diddy in the courtroom, Dantor shows up on his head, but not the stank expression, stank vibe Dantor. No, the Dantor in current real time in hell, in severe agony, going that's the sound of agony. She's down there. You can actually hear agony. She'll be doing that for all eternity. So how many chosen or Trojan, any of those who are loved by God, who loves God, how many did Diddy harass through spiritual rituals, ravenous, raging rituals, schmexual, raging rituals? See, the court and everything is only dealing with the moon that we can see, the side of the moon that we can see, the side of the moon that is only ever visible on Earth. The dark side, the black, we don't know unless we know, unless we're psychic like that, tapped in like that. And the dark side of the moon is where the spiritual court is in session. What he did to Netanya and so many people, what he even did to Capricorn Clark, like, I'm going to make it so that you want to do suicide. Well, let me tell you, that's what that number code 34 and 89, because I was in that wormhole for years. Came out of it blessed, came out of it clean on the other side, and I'm still here. But trust me on this one, I now got to watch my back every day. I have not begun. I'm telling the intro, and my loved ones on the other side are laughing because they're like, oh, we done heard this story over and over again. Yeah, but the story to be told is, so what happened during that wormhole? That I came out with my 357 Saratoga, loaded up with the Volga, and I never stopped my DNA. Anything, I never stopped it. Never stopped. But I started a family. Okay? So it was something that I would just know when I walk the streets. Oh, I like this person. I like their vibe. I understand why their vibe is like this. They're from Spica. They're from, this star system. They're from the Great Central Sun. Oh, I like their vibe. They're gangster. They're from Mars. They know how to hustle every day. I can, that's somebody you want on your team. Somebody from Mars and shit. That's who you want on your team. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was doing this every day. I'm like, they're from this, that, and the third. They're from this DNA point of origin, spiritual point of origin, port of origin. So I knew what they were bringing to humanity. And this is just the beginning. There's so many star systems and galaxies and universes, known and unknown, and a Delta Quadrant, Star Trek, and all this shit, right? But all of it is pertinent. Star Wars, Star Trek, there's so much point of origins in these movies, not just these two, but these movies and franchises. They give me a lot of visuals to how we look when we're not indigenous from Earth having the human experience. But what do we bring to the human experience? And this is what I brought to Sean John. And ever since then, like I said, the wormhole. I came up out the wormhole, and people are like, this bitch survived the wormhole? Oh, hell to the no. And I got a chance in the previous recordings, you'll see, I got a chance to see Papa Legba cuss Dantor out and send her to Dante's Inferno. Not even Dante's Inferno. The new hell. Send her ass right on down because she was disrespectful. He gave her a chance too because he knew it was going to be really bad. So he gave her a chance, and she was very nasty. And I remember using my clairs, using my third eye, I can see her at the threshold of my home, angry and defiant, until Papa Legba was like, who the fuck do you think you are? You disrespectful bitch. And I'm like, what's going on here? It's in the middle of the night where mediums can really chit chat, right? So I'm there, the Orishas are around me, different pantheons are around me. Because the Ark of the Covenant is a round table, got all kinds of pantheons. It has all different departments to it. It's an intergalactic, interdimensional round table. It's incredible. It's the new physics that we're feeling in the air. So I'm surrounded by my grandmother, my mom, everybody. Everybody was there. Biggie was there, everybody was there. Pac, everybody was like, what? Pissed, because they already knew what Dantor was up to. Dantor had did so much damage to so many people. The other victims, the dark side of the moon victims, the ones we can't go into the courtroom with. Okay? So when he brutalized people, allegedly, okay, it was a ritual. And people keep saying it, but we're not diving in. Well, I'll dive up in that bitch. These were rituals, heavy duty rituals. So when people are going to Dantor and asking and petitioning her, and they never got anything, and they gave their last to her, her ass was obsessed and busy working with Sean Combs to cover his back. Him and whoever he was in cahoots with, and whoever he was going against and draining and tapping into. For the baguettes and the jets, the private jets, the you know what I'm saying? Any kind of way Sean Combs, now Moloch, can cipher and drain people's friggin' energy for his own greater good for him, he was doing this and obsessed with it. Nothing's in vain. Okay? So let us get into the traits of Thundera. Right? I'm going to read them off, but these are the cards that I laid out. I use my Sacred Forest Tarot and my little angel oracle cards just to get the traits, just to get going. I'm going to find out much more, but let me read off about this, right? Okay. I know it's a busy time. I know everybody that's listening to this is a busy time. So let's go on through. Okay, so purity, and the angel cards that came out with purity. Purity it's unicorn energy. So the people from ALNITAK, the ALNITAKians or the Thunderians, There's a level of purity. There's like, if to be around them is like having a unicorn around you. Which is great because unicorn horsepower is a different type of horsepower. What it can do in quantum energy is profound. So you have your beautiful horses, Mustangs, everything, and the horsepower and the animal totem energy that comes from the horse is incredible. The unicorn, that horsepower can give you quantum leaping energies. But it's a purity energy. So people, when they're around unicorns, unicorn might be pulled back because they're like gross. These people, the energy is gross. The energy is not right. The energy is a little bit off. It doesn't have to necessarily be wicked or evil, but it's just like ill. It's not pure. Beat it. Okay, so one of the first traits that comes out of purity is as a being of light. So in parentheses it says, thus earth can be particularly difficult. So there are human beings here, their point of origin, wherever they're originally from, sometimes they're made of just pure light, or just have a light about them, if not just made out of pure light, have a light about them. So earth is super dense, and therefore it can be very, very difficult for the people of Thundera. So the best thing is the next trait, and it says, let your light shine on the world. And that is exactly what Tisa is doing, what Sierra is doing, what Joaquin Phoenix is doing. Okay, through Lynn Eyes. Hey, Pudding Cup. He's a great reader. Check out his channel. Through Lynn's Eyes. Very, very on point. And fellow Capricorn, what's up? It says, knockdown comeback kid. See, I'm not surprised that there's a Capricorn I just mentioned, because Capricorns, we climb the mountain, right? Us Capricorns, and we stumble, but we get back up. So there's people that don't like that. I have this one particular former friend that I now call Training Day. That's her name, Training Day, because the bitch will always harass you in the vehicle. This was, for some reason, everybody knew this after a while, and eventually cut her off. To be abused, like, what the hell? I'm Ethan Hawke and she's Denzel Washington. All of a sudden, I'm being abused up in the car, like, getting cussed out. I'm like, what the hell? Where did this come from? But I remember she's like, why do you always have to have a comeback? This is the last time I got in the car with the hoe. I mean, with the chick. I was just like, you know what? Let me think about that, and I'll get back to you tomorrow. And I got out the car. I was just like, this bitch, she don't understand. Don't trigger me. Don't trigger my point of origin. So I called her the next day, and I said, being ward of the court, ward of New York State, being orphan, I don't have mommy and daddy to go to. If I did, I would go to them and receive help. And I would, for my offspring, I want them to be able to come to me and dad, okay? But I didn't have that. What I did have was my ability to come back from being mashed up on the ground and being around people who kick you while you're down. So I told her, I said, thank the Most High that you have mom and dad who are people of means, that you have your degree, a car, an apartment, a home, safety. You have a lot of safety, you have a lot of support. You know what I'm saying? Be grateful you have all these things. Just stay in gratitude. Try that for once. Huh? Can you? These types can't. That's another story. Anyway, moving right along. Knockdown, comeback kid, Wolverine energy. That's what's up. It's a beautiful, beautiful attribute. The next trait is called trust. So, if there's any levels of anxiety, panic attacks, maybe even, crystal therapy is absolutely fabulous for this point of origin. Certain music, anything. People may go to the doctor and go and get therapy. I'm a psych major. I don't mind that at all. I tell you, get the support. Get the emotional, mental support that you need. And hopefully you don't have to take meds for anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Because the experience on Earth especially without knowing the full truth of things. It can be very daunting. Okay. It says thinking outside of the box is it becomes you. And now we're in the age where thinking outside of the box is what's going to make you win. It's what's going to make you win. You still have to have practical application of what is outside of that box that you've conceived. Practical application, feet firmly on the ground, but your head is in the sky. That makes you a transformer. Okay, that means I hear a crow cawing in the background. Okay. Ooh, endings, new beginnings, protected, protection. That's what the crow is about, protection. You guys make great restaurateurs. That's in there. Hairstylists, technicians, hair technicians, hand wizardry with hair and with carpentry. HGTV endeavors, very, very awesome paths. What's the next one? Oh, okay. So when it comes to protection, it's talking about the old type universal blood type. I know there's even more. This is just an introduction. I don't want this video to be too long, but a lot of old type universal blood types come out of this point of origin, and sometimes it's best for the old types to consume meat within reason, and quality meats, of course. Some who have gone vegan and vegetarian, they've had major health issues where they had to turn back to eating meat. So, carefully how you balance your meals with proper vegetables, starch if you're into the starches at all, but your proteins, when you have the O negative, O positive, whatever, it's best to have some form of meat. May not be a lot, but something. There's a connection to Neptune. We'll go into it more because this is not going to be the only video on the Thunderians, but we'll go into why they're connected to the star Vega, why they're connected to the planet Neptune within this star system. And I think there's another place that they're connected to. Okay, let me read down further. There's a strong connection to Earth, what they're here to do. Okay, so wherever you are from originally, you don't really get to find out how strong you are until you come here to Earth. And I think that's probably for a lot, but it's emphasized for people from this point of origin. The World card, that's the final level of the major arcana, which is also in the Kabbalah tree. The World card is great with social media, of course, that covers the internet, but it's also dealing with the third eye. It's dealing with the birthing of a whole new cycle, the ending of an old cycle and going forward, to leave an old cycle and going into something fresh and new, going outward, being out there. The 12 energy, you're more restricted, you're more inner, you're getting a lot done from going within because you're in restriction. So all you can do is go inward. For the 21, you're going outward. So this is public affairs, public arenas, very, very positive, very on point, giving birth to whole new cycles and inviting others to do the same. It says, do not eat from just anybody. There's people more than ever before with witch talk and everything going on. People are playing and dabbling and sprinkling things in people's food, not just formaldehyde and mercury. These are the forms of poison that are given. I can tell you from experience what it feels like. I thank God I'm one of the survivors of that particular type of poison that took Heavy D out, took Kim Porter out, and the list goes on and on. Brittany Murphy, everybody. Can you imagine what they're talking to me about from the other side and how much they protect me and mines from both sides of the veil? The physics is different here. They can come in and out the physics. They can be here physically. Death is different now. And thanks to Diddy putting in all the work that he has put in, and his counterpart, which we will go more into eventually, his counterpart, his Eve to the new hell, that's not in the 3D, that will be out of space and time. And Diddy is out of time. Soon he'll be out of this space. Okay? and taking many with him. And he will be creating a space. He himself will be a dimension within a dimensionless quantum mania goulash. Ushkash, goulash, gushkash, gushkash. He'll take all that ushkash, gushkash, and goulash, gushkash, and he'll be taking it right on down there where it belongs. It's like the garbage dump of existence. That's where the new hell, the VIP of hell, will be. Diddy, thank you. All that work you put in, it does not go in vain. All the assaults, all the ravishing of people's souls, the devouring of people's souls, putting people in Faraday cages that they can't see nor get out of. But you got the right one, Sean Combs, don't you? Don't act like you don't know who I am. Oh, there's so much more to tell. All right, let me get through this. Sorry about that. Okay, stand with confidence. High priestess energy, natural high priestess and high priest energies. Okay, anointed to do spiritual temple work, spiritual services, ordained, not just picking up something and running with it, and then later on, when you hopping on one foot and you know, going insane, and you know, demons all up in your house and stuff, and people running from you and stuff, and you're like, yeah, this is, you was playing with something that you shouldn't have been playing with. Who told you to do that death spell? Now you're in and out of ICU. I see you. Okay? So does the protectors of the person that you were attacking. You know what I'm saying? So right now, a lot had to go, like Diddy had to be allowed to run rampant. And while he's doing that, Zion is formulating and collecting up everybody. Prince, everybody. Christopher Reeves, John Lennon. Because the new ark is forged out of a special wood. Every ark has to be forged out of a special wood. This new ark of the covenant, as per prophecy, is formulated out of Hollywood. Ain't that some shit? There'll be a lot of confirmations about what I'm talking about. There'll be a lot more confirmations, but it says, okay, so stand with confidence, high priestess energy, and hermit energy. Sometimes you have to go into hermit mode because of all the 21 energy, the world card, going outward and shining your light on the world. When you go into hermit mode, it's like that deals with your solar plexus, that helps to heal and helps to reboot and strengthen your core energy, your light, your solar plexus. So the solar plexus, one must be mindful of for all the Thunderians, that all the Thundercats that might be in Leo energy or Leo into Virgo, or Virgo placements or Virgo placements. You have to be mindful that you rule the stomach area and even the chest area for the Leo Thunderians. Okay. And even for Capricorn Thunderians, sometimes our stomach issues, because of the time of year we're born in, we'll have stomach issues. But if we're stressed, okay, so let's moving it on, because I'll go right in deep into that aspect too. The next one is acceptance. I guess I will understand that more, but having acceptance of reality, have acceptance of that nothing, that's what I'm hearing, that nothing is in vain, everything in divine order. So just move forward. Everything good. Breathe. Acceptance. Also, don't forget your resume. Don't forget how fly you are. Don't forget how dope you are. Don't forget that. As you're serving up blessings to other people, you deserve self-care and taking care of yourself, and be like, yo, I deserve to be spoiled. I'll put this work in. You know what I'm saying? If I put this work in, these should be my rewards. Don't forget that. Balance that out, because it will give you such a balance that when you're moving forward, when you're forging ahead, the path will be clear. You don't want the path of most resistance, which comes with worry and muck and mire of the consciousness of how you're thinking, how you're deciphering. You want clarity, because that's one of the blessings here. The clairs, you have clairaudience, clairvoyance. You don't want to block that. This is superpowers. Or now it's this, we're more in the supernatural energy than we've ever been before. It's a different, you can feel it in the air. So now let's use our supernatural. We use our natural senses. Let's use our supernatural senses. Let's get in the gym for the supernatural senses. Let's get some acupuncture for the supernatural senses that are atrophied for a lot of people because of the Tupac is saying because they were papacy whipped. Okay, because of the papacy. He likes to say papacy. He said we can't be papacy whipped. Especially when the Ark of the Covenant is looking at the papacy like, make a false move and I'll whip you. Ooh. Mm. Okay, moving right along. So it says acceptance. You want to accept your reality. That means you have to keep yourself high vibrational because if you're feeling low, you're not going to be feeling, um, you're not going to see straight. When we're all in our low vibrations, anger and pain and stuff like that, stewing in it, antagonistic, we're in a bad mood. We see our own reality. We see in red or black sometimes. We're losing it, we're spazzing, all of that type of stuff. But when we're keeping ourselves content, grateful, know that everything is fine, everything, when we're enthusiastic and happy and cheerful and things like that, we can see way better. We can see general reality when we're upbeat. So it's saying, just keep your energies up. If you're in the public eye, that'll keeping your energy high for you. Just content, peaceful, enthusiastic, those kind of energies, happy. If you do that, then opportunities abound and you'll be able to accept that. So there's something about acceptance of what reality is really presenting to you is very important. Staying relevant and keeping all the opportunities that continue to abound, continue to come to you. The next one is new beginnings. Keyword daffodil. So you'll probably see daffodil to confirm what I'm saying, and also this will protect your children too. This is a code for keep a watch on your children. For those who have kids, especially having these special children who are already born in their north node, already operating in their north node. They're already in it. They're already in purpose mode. Okay. So there are attacks to snatch them down and put them into south mode, put them in a karmic low vibrational behavior, have them act out and stuff like that. So there's ways that we can keep our environment blessed, keep our children blessed, and protected. Okay. And also our endeavors, not just our children, anything that we birth out from those sacral chakra, the root chakra, keeping those base chakras on point and steady so that the rest of your chakra points will be on point, spinning, healthy, okay? Until it creates a star tetrahedron or a Merkaba around your body, which will allow you to move with sovereignty. This is a huge deal. This is something that Diddy was deployed out like a nasty beast set a loose on everybody. Sovereignty, rah, rah, just eating people's sovereignty up. I run you. You don't run shit. I run you. This is the bullshit. Pardon the noise in the background. Okay, so the next thing. Okay, so it says the clears, clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentient. These are supernatural, sixth sense type of traits, type of components that must be now utilized probably more than ever before. Okay? The next one is the smile. Your smile heals. Yes, it does. Yay! A very healing smile for all the Thunderians. The smile also brings in opportunities. It heals others, but it brings you opportunities. It is a magnet. The Wheel of Fortune comes in right after that. Carpentry, again, HGTV carpentry, DIY, interior design, interior decor. These are very, very important path for people from this point of origin. The next one is flow. This is great. For those who read Celestine Prophecy, that book is amazing because it's dealing with now. It was back in like the 90s, the late 90s. It was a huge, massive success. It's still a success. There's even a movie, Celestine Prophecy movie. Um, and even though it's an adventure movie, the 9 insights are actually real insights based off the Mayans, and that they did their own calendar that ended 2012. And 2012 is where we switched into a frequency of a 5 vibration, something that Earth has never experienced. I go into that in previous recordings. I'll go into it in future recordings. But because we're in the 5 vibration where it's about us being sovereign, because we're in the age of Aquarius - Capricorn, which this tablet is my receipt and proves it, because it's a dual age now. It's not the age of Pisces, it's the age of Aquarius and Capricorn. So the waters of the Pisces have receded, revealing a lot of secrets, a lot of knowledge, a lot of history. So now that we're in this type of time, it's important with that Aquarius and Capricorn energy that you are sovereign, that you run shit. Whether you're an entrepreneur or you're working for others, if you have a megalomaniac boss like Diddy, they will be dealt with. This matrix is like, you gotta get out of here. Because you put in the matrix, you're putting existence in jeopardy. Behaving like that. So that's not just here on Earth. Even in other realms, people are getting checked. Beings, other creations of God are getting checked. Okay? And that's why the VIP of hell is there. See, you can't have a VIP of the heavens, Zion, in full bloom, a multi-universe now. Started out like a frequency. Now it's a multi-universe. Because too many flying motherfuckers went up there and brought their glory up there, as per prophecy and revelations. Their glory is their karma. So can you imagine the karma when Prince brought his karma up to Zion, how it kept expanding? So it's not just a frequency, which I talk about in the previous, and I will talk about it in future. It was a very beautiful paradise frequency, but it was just a frequency, and it was vulnerable. It could have fallen apart, and that prophecy would have went to shit in the book of Revelations. That's another story. So when people passed on in droves, but remember 2016? People was passing over that was celebrities that had impacted, they had the opportunity. Unfortunately, a lot of them were taken out through, they committed suicide. Bullshit. That was an overdose. Bullshit. Or they got shot up by people who were closest to them. Of course. They got assassinated. They got this, some real, people paid a grip. They paid dues to get up into the VIP of the heavens. Okay? So you have to have a balance of Zion. So the new hell, this is where Sean Combs comes in. Thank you, Sean. You fitting to give back everything with interest, motherfucker. Because it's not just this lifetime, it's the previous lifetimes too. And the people that you harassed, not just the people who are now made public or handling you in a public arena, but their names might stay anonymous for security, obvious reasons, security reasons. But that's the front side of the moon. And the moon deals with secrets, and it definitely deals with occult. That definitely deals with magic and all this stuff, which the whole world runs off of. Let's not be naive. It's magic in everything. Everything. But on the other side of the moon, the side that earthlings never get to see, unless they tapped in and astral projecting, then you go on that dark side of the moon. You're like, what in the is going on? And in the age of Aquarius - Capricorn, we now get to know what's going on whenever we want to. My thing is, be ready for that information, though, because some of it might be too much. You don't got to know everything at once. Digest bit by bit what you can, okay? But bringing it back to the last bracket of traits for this DNA group, it says flow. And Celestine Prophecy, the thing about the 9 insights and the adventure that the 9 insights are embedded in when you're reading the book or watching the movie is that the insight explains energy in practical forms, right there in your face, what's been going on all along and how to rock it, right? And it even discussed how the Mayans was able to disappear by switching their frequency. So if they could just leave Earth, imagine those who left Earth through a funeral, and all that stuff, right? Through being assassinated, through poisonings or bullets. Imagine how they're able to come back and forth here physically. It's coming. There'll be a time. It's preparing. We have to thank Diddy for that, where they'll be able to do that publicly. So again, all the brutalizing that was done for these rituals will not go in vain. They are transmuted into the second coming, into the resurrection, into the wrath of God here on earth, rat-tat-tazzing that ass in real time, and it will only intensify. I trust me on this one. I'm watching it unfold, and I'm highly grateful. I love me some wrath of God. I stand for it, because right now, what's happening in that court, spiritual court and earthly court, it's incredible. And it's only the tip of the iceberg. So what the hell was going on in that iceberg? Well, now that the water of the Piscean age has receded, the Piscean age of people getting away with shit, apparently, allegedly. Well, in Aquarius, Capricorn, you can't do that in air and earth element. We're looking right at your ass. And Capricorn, Capricorn energy, that's the disciplinarian of the zodiac, Capricorn. So the matrix, the energy, the physics is like, listen, fuck the world, don't ask me for shit. Everything you get, you better work hard for it. You don't be stealing it from others. If you got a staff, pay them their weight in gold, damn it. We don't got time for megalomaniacs, tyranny, slumlords, anything where you have authority, but you're abusing people with it. You're on your way out. The Aquarius energy won't allow that. Aquarius, oh, big up to all my Aquarius folk out there. I got heavy Aquarius in my chart. It done saved my life multiple times, okay? That Aquarius energy, we think outside the box, but we do not like people oppressing us, bossing us around. We could work for somebody, but respect me and what I'm here to bring. Without a good employee, you don't got shit. Without a good employer, we ain't got shit. Okay, so, the respect needs to go back and forth. It needs to be a quid pro quo with the respect. Respect. Self-respect, and thus respect for others. That's how it goes, right? So with the Celestine prophecy and the 9 insights that the Mayans was giving us to prepare us for right now and going forward with this new physics that we're in, the flow. So if you are, if your energy is, cacophonic, you should be like a symphony of energy, not a cacophony. So if you're like anxiety and anxious and fearful and stuff like that, you're going to go the wrong path, the wrong way. And all that comes with it is just the path of most resistance. That's putting it lightly. Some of it is dangerous for us, okay? But when you have faith, when you're calm, nothing's in vain and everything in divine order, breathe, then you'll see the right path. Go with the flow. For this DNA point of origin, that's your part of your purpose. That's the potluck that we call the human experience. You're bringing that. That's what you're bringing. For those who haven't watched the movie Celestine Prophecy or read the book, you should definitely read it. It will impact you immediately. Another blessing with this flow energy is unexpected forms of income. Blessed. I love it. See, when you're thinking outside the box, when you're getting in your bag, when you put the nose to the grind, when you are, being Aquarius - Capricorn energy, you know what I'm saying? Your head is in the sky, that's the Aquarius energy, but your feet is firmly on the ground, that's that Capricorn structure. Capricorn is structure, okay? Capricorn is that box, and the Aquarius is outside of it. You need both, because the box is your throne. For all those who's thinking fresh, the box, we know what the box is. The box is the throne. In this read, that's what the box is, okay? It's what you sit on. Rephrase. It's your throne. Rephrase. Okay, so it's your foundation. All right. Okay, and it says incredible sense of peace and accomplishment. That belongs to everybody who is of the ALNITAK point of origin in the Orion's belt. This is such a key discovery for me with all the different DNA groups is always intriguing. It's always incredible and amazing. I'm so grateful to be privy to this information, connected to it. But there's something about the Orion's belt that's so key, because all these secret societies, they affirm about the Orion's belt too. There's a lot about the Orion's belt, to the point that the pyramids of Giza had to be there, and how they were aligned, how they were built. Before they was built, high priests had to go and measure out how to place each pyramid with primordial point in the sky, and the fact that everything would align at that time with the Orion's belt. And that's why Egypt was such a powerhouse for at least 1,000 years after that, because of those pyramids, those tetrahedrons, the power. And United States, we got the Pentagon, totally different energy. If it wasn't about the Pentagon, it was that Pentagon was a pyramid, a tetrahedron, different. United States would be completely different, but veering off. Okay, so incredible sense of peace and accomplishment. And last but definitely not least, this goes with your protection. You guys, because of your purity, you will draw the opposite of the arch nemesis. The other side of the coin are filthy enemy hoarders. Like these are greedy. Some are family members that won't tell you that you're on a will, that one of the properties that was left by a grandfather, grandmother belongs to you. They done flubbed the paperwork, got some people in the insurance company to lie about who was on the policy, like some real grimy. This is something that, this level of treachery. But because you've entered their lives, because you are there to pretty much prune them from the tree of life, from the matrix. Your energy is what the matrix needs. Those who come against you, who are drawn to you, in divine order, they were drawn to you so your energy can prune them away, cut. So if you've gone non-contact, and then later on you found out that they're probably in the grave, and they're probably in the VIP of hell, that's because they were doing some really rotten shit to y'all. Really rotten, really doing the most. And now they done told the matrix, we are a pile of vomit. And the matrix is like, well, let me clean your ass up and get you out of here. Throw your ass in Quantum Mania somewhere, in the new hell, in the Moloch, with his Eve, Lilith. We'll get more into her. We'll talk about who he gonna be with forever and ever. That's gonna be fun, y'all. Woo, child. We're gonna get into who Diddy is betrothed to for the new hell. She put in that work too, child. She put in that work too. They peas in a pod, these two. Yes. Anyway, this episode, I hope it gets to Tisa. I will promote it to her. But Tisa, thank you. Everybody who is from Thundera, thank you for your contribution. But Tisa, thank you so much for the coverage. Hopefully you've gotten this far in the video, because I know it's a busy friggin' time. And I know I'm not the only one sending data and information to you, okay? So whenever you get to this, girl, we got time. We got eternity. So does Moloch, aka Sean Combs. He has eternity, but not in time and space. In Quantum Mania, in the new hell, he'll be a whole new dimension within a dimensionless, weird goulash, ushkash, goulash, kukukash, and the ushkash, kukulash. Did you was given the ulash, kukukash, goulash? You're gonna take all that shit down there with you. Thank you very much, my ninja. Okay, but your time is complete. And your goons, those in cahoots with you, they probably need to run and detach and go to the Lord on bended knee, beg down, God, help me, because the vat of blood fire waiting for that ass, it can happen any moment. So why don't you back off of Diddy and back off of his payroll and what he's asking you to do to innocent people, because this reign of terror is complete. Okay. All right now. See you in the next video, guys.